Here we have the 30-minute price chart for GameStop Corporation, stock ticker GME. So as we can see, this stock chart has started to roll over in the exact same price level that was mentioned during the prior video. We can simply go back to the prior video and look at what was said there because I have not changed this chart in any way. As we were looking at this ultimate resistance zone, which came in at just above $23, roughly 23.09, we can see that there was a bit of a price failure here. And this was turning out as expected because, this also comes in line with an important Fibonacci retracement zone that had strong potential to limit price action to the top side. So overall, of course, the clickbait on YouTube continues, and nobody seems to be acknowledging the fact that downside price moves are the most likely scenario from here. And we do have to look at the indicator readings here, which show that this prior uptrend in share price momentum that we were starting to see has now broken. So, all this looking to the downside here, this does suggest that, the momentum here is turning back in the other direction. My recommendation in the prior video was to look for any rallies back into, I'm going to have to put the word rally in air quotes here, but any price movements back into 2480. As a potential area to possibly exit the position. Whether or not we actually get there is still highly debatable, given the fact that share prices are now starting to roll over. We have moved through the exponential moving average cluster. This most recent upsurge in share price momentum has now broken, and the longer term trajectory in share price momentum remains intact. So most recently, what we've seen here is that share prices have fallen through the prior lows. These lows would have come in at roughly, let's get an exact number here, 22.25. And as we can see here, that's right around where we're trading at the moment. And the most recent lows come in at 21.96. So, what I was explaining in the last video is that the main risk here would be that we do fail at this 38.2% Fibonacci retracement zone, start to roll over, move through the exponential moving average cluster, and then start to post lower lows. So if this continues to happen, ultimately what we're going to be looking at here is a retest of these prior 1873 lows. To the downside, the next major level of support currently comes in at roughly 2040. This would be the price low that was generated during the August 7 trading session. So, as things look to the downside, we really do need to see a break back above 2310 in order to sort of reinvigorate the top side. If we were to see a break of this area, I would say that an event like that would take pressure off of the downside, and that we could see prices move back into 2480. At which point, my recommendation would be to close the position and start to look for better stocks to trade. Of course, that's not the prevailing logic here. If we look at the common opinion here that's showing on YouTube, here we can see that the August 31st now is the new date to be watching as far as this potential short squeeze is concerned. I thought that previously it was September 3rd or September 4th, or whatever. I mean, getting a correct date here is almost, it's ridiculous. There's no reason to be focusing on these specific price dates like this because none of this will be happening. So, as we can see here, when everybody is standing on one side of the boat, you have to move to the other side of the boat. If everybody on YouTube is saying that this stock is going to move higher, the opposite is probably going to be true. If we continue to see share prices sort of drift lower, what this ultimately means is that these clickbait videos are not inspiring enough people to move into the stock and start to establish long positions. If this continues to occur, we are going to be focusing back on this 2040 level. Which is this low from August 7. And then if that level is not able to hold, even through there, we would still be just expecting a sideways consolidation period, not really a substantial bounce or anything like that. But if ultimately this 2040 price level does not hold, we are then looking at 1873 as the next level to the downside. And then if we're going to continue to break through support levels there, we have to go back even further to May 2024, where the 1770 price level ultimately rests. So, as things currently stand, I don't see anything here that's supporting this stock. There is no major fundamental news that's going to come and save the day here. If we did start to see a movement back here, perhaps some short covering allows allows share prices to move back into roughly 24.80, I think that's the best chance that anybody is going to get with this stock to start to exit this position. I mean, at some point that needs to happen. And I do think that one thing that's missing from most trading strategies with GameStop and AMC is some sort of an exit strategy. I mean, over and over again, all we keep hearing is HODL or diamond hands, and we're just going to hold no matter what. But that never makes sense with any type of trading strategy. It never makes sense. What you really need to be doing is having a bit more of a specific trading plan. Where would the price line be? Like, where is the line in the sand ultimately? You always have to have something in the back of your head which says that, if XYZ occurs, I'm going to have to get out of this trade. And I'll give you an example. Recently I had to get out of an Intel position. For me, there was a major disappointment in the company's most recent earnings figures. And for me, the major, I guess, game changer, I hate that word, but the major factor to get me to close that position ultimately was the reduction of the dividend. They're suspending the dividend in the upcoming quarter, so that entire outlook had to be changed. I mean, I will not be willing to stay in that stock if they're also going to be removing the dividend and taking away the incentive for me to hold on to that stock for a long period of time. So if they're going to be taking that away, then they're going to have to wait for me at least to move back into that trade. So, even to the best of us, it does happen. There have to be situations where, you sort of draw a line in the sand and you say, if something does not occur by this date, or, if we do not see a price movement by this date, or if some other fundamental factor does not occur, the outlook has to change. The outlook cannot just simply be positive no matter what. And that is the trap that people have fallen into with this stock. And that's why people have held on to it for such a long period of time. The stock that we took on Monday in the members only section of this trading channel, we bought in at the lows. The stock made a bounce of 6.13% in one day. If you look at the S&P 500, the data going back to 1957 shows that annualized gains on average come in at 10.26% for the S&P 500. So, we've made up more than half of the gains that would be expected for the S&P 500 during any given year, and we did that in one trading session. Okay, it's not a massive short squeeze or anything like that. Nothing's going to the moon, I guess you could say, but it's a highly profitable short-term day trade. While everyone that's holding GameStop is simply waiting around for nothing to happen. I mean, if we want to wait around for guys like this to predict the future, look, he's surprised. Look, he's in shock. Oh my gosh! Now it's August 30th to 31st. I wonder why it's one or the other. It's not. I don't even know. Like what goes on with this stock is just completely mystifying, and I don't even understand how this stuff is allowed on the platform. So currently, the advice here is to, if you do see a bounce into 24.80, look to exit the position. There are much better stocks to be trading in this market. Here's the current market update for GameStop Corporation, stock ticker GME. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market, lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.